guys, welcome to the Book Island. Today I'm going to be doing a few reviews on the two first books from the Witchlands series, so that's Truthwitch and Windwitch. So the first two books and the only books that are currently out of the series, so I'm just kind of doing like a first review on the series, so stay tuned. So first off, I want to say that the world that Susan Dennard builds is so rich and full of detail in the way that she works out all the different empires and the politics and the differences between the languages. She works that all into her text, and she works in when they're speaking Dalmati or when they're speaking Carteren or whatever language are in these this book, and so it's just so intricate, and there's all the different classes of witches. So there's like elemental witches and void witches and Aether witches. It's just so incredible that how she's done this. The political aspect of this story is so I just love it. I just feel like it's such a strong thing in this book. So the characters, Isolde and Safia, are so complex. Like the way that you see their backstories and you see why they are the way that they are now. And Safia and Isolde, I find, were really relatable in the way that they interacted together. Like, they are witches, sure, so that's one thing that, humans are not, but, their friendship and the way that they acted together, it's really, it's like they're real people, and, I would act that way with my best friends all the time. The friendship between Safia and is just such, it's like a relationship that everybody wants to have. It's they're complete opposites of each other, but they make it work. They work together like a machine. They always got each other's backs, and it's so good to see, because in a lot of other adult fiction, young adult fiction, you see rivalry between girls, and there's the main character who's the good one, and then there's another girl who's the rival of the main character. But in this story, it's not like that at all. It's friendship that saves the world, and it's beautiful to see. So for the second book, I just have to say that the intrigue in Windwitch was really good, because I feel like you didn't know how it was about to end until it was the end. Until a few chapters before the plot became exposed type deal, until the true bad person was brought to the light. And it was really cool how she did that, because usually I'm pretty good at telling what's going to happen at the end of the book, because I don't know, I can see the foreshadowing, and we're doing a bunch of this stuff in my English class, and so it's really easy for me to tell what's going to happen usually. But in this book I feel like it wasn't, and then there are certain things, key elements that she would add into the story, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is going to happen, but I only really registered it once I put everything together, that she dropped all the subtle hints that she'd put into the story, and it was really well done, and I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, so this next part is really going to be a bunch of spoilery jargon that I'm going to start spewing out, because I'm so excited about this series. So if you're not really up to date on the two books, I think it's best if you just kind of clue out right now. So, see you next time. Okay, so guys, I ship Aeduan and Isolde so much. They're gonna be together, and when they found Owl in the woods, the thing I was thinking, I was in the next book, they're gonna be together, and they're gonna be going through the contested lands, just walking around, and they're gonna adopt this little girl, and they're gonna be a little Nomatsi family on their own, because they're each Nomatsi, and they're all gonna be together, and it's gonna be great. I'm thinking about the Raider King, and how they kept mentioning the Raider King, and Aeduan was oh, that's my father. He said that's his father. His father's the Raider King, and the Raider King is planning this whole uprising thing, and I'm just oh my god, it's gonna be this huge war between all the kingdoms to bring back the Erythranian Republic, or whatever that's called, and just everything's gonna go to hell, everything's gonna go to crap, and I just feel I'm not gonna get to see my Aeduan Isolde ship come to life, and I really want it to happen. And what sucks is that Isolde can't see Aeduan's threads, and Adwin can't smell Isolde. So I'm like, they don't know what the heck they're feeling for each other, and it's just so frustrating. Because when you see from Adwin's point of view, he's like, there was an emotion that bubbled in my chest, but I don't know what it was, so I just pushed it down. And I was like, hello, you know what that is? You're feeling a little something for this woman, okay? You're starting to fall in love with her, and you want to be with her, so do that. And Isolde's all like, I'm a thread witch, so stasis, I must stay calm, I can't show my emotions, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, I gotta stay away from this dude, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, you don't, you can just be together, and it can be great. That's my rant about my Adwin and Isolde ship. Next thing is Safi and Marique. Basically, I just so heartbroken, because the last thing that Safi said to Marique was, I have a feeling I'm never gonna see you again. And Isolde said that she saw the flares of, like, thread that bind together with them, so I'm just like, what does that mean? Are they each other's heart threads? Was that just anger that flared? Like, you never know. And Marique thinks that Safia died in a boat explosion on one half of the world, and then Safia thinks that Marique died in a boat explosion on one half of the world. There's so many things in this book that just tear me apart. Like they had to separate each other at the end of Truthwitch. Safia, she went with the Marstoks so that the Marstoki people could trade with the New Brevna, and I just feel like that was very, very cute. And like it just proves how much she loves him. And that little moment, like in Truthwitch between Marique and Safia, I was like, I'm sure everybody was waiting for that moment. Everybody who's read the book, they've just been reading page, Marique and Safia together, all the tension between them, like, they're gonna be together. They're, like, we knew it, but it was like a slow burn romance. And it was, like, really annoying. Because you know they're gonna be together, but they just won't admit it because they're really pissed off at each other right now. And it's just like, you should be together, but you don't want to, so you should just do it and see where it leads. And that would be very great. Okay, next off, I just need to know, like, what the heck is up with Corland? Like, first, in Truthwitch, Isolde goes to her tribe, and then he's just there, and he's a curse witch, apparently, and he's all like, oh, like, I'm in charge now, and, you could just sit back there and do whatever you want. And then usually apparently it was her mom who was in charge before, because she was like the thread witch of the tribe and stuff like that. And holy cow, I just don't, and apparently Corland is like in love with her mom, and he's like obsessed with her, and I just don't understand, because then in Windwitch you see him talking to Adwin, and he's like, that's how they meet later on. They're like Corland is talking to Adwin, and he's like, you need to bring me the Truthwitch because the Raider King wants her for his army. And I'm just like, what? And he's in the purist compound, and the purist people are the people who are totally against witches, and they think that all witches are stupid, but he's a curse witch, so I don't understand how he's in this. And like, what is going on? Like, and Isolde's, like, apparently blood witches can everybody has a specific smell to blood witches, and Isolde just doesn't smell like anything. And I'm just like, how the heck does that, like, what, like, why is that special, like, why does she not have the smell? And also, what does the Raider King want with her? Like, obviously, it's, like, a bunch of stuff with Esme and, like, the weaver-ness of her and stuff like that, but, like, I'm still really confused on Corland. Like, there needs to be more explanation about him in the next book and stuff. Now, on with the Esme problem. Esme is a weaver witch, and she is thinking that Isolde is a weaver witch too. And at first I'm like, no, she's not. She's not a weaver witch. She's just a normal thread witch. This person is just messing with her mind. But then in Windwitch, we see her actually straight up cleave a dude. Like a fire witch, she cleaves him and she kills him with literally just her hands, like not even on him, like she like uses this weird like magic with her hands and stuff, and she just like cuts his threads or whatever, like his metaphorical threads that are on top of his head that she sees, and it's just really, really, really weird. And she does that. Oh yeah, about the threads. Like, I don't know if anybody else pictured them like this, but I, like, when Isolde says like she looks at the threads, I picture her being like you know how you say that you always look at the person in the eye when you're talking to them? Well, I picture her being like, she looks on top of the person's head, and she sees like string coming out of their heads type deal, and then she like sees like the different colors in them and stuff like that. And I don't know if anybody else pictures it like that, but I picture it like different. Then they kind of go off diagonally, and then if there's, say there's like me here and my threads are doing this, and then there's another person here and her threads are doing this, and it's like they're like weaving together type deal and creating that like loom of the world thing that Susan Dennard keeps talking about in the book. Is that just like their religion or something like that? Like, is that their beliefs that the world is like all a loom? Because I feel like she didn't really explain that. And like she explained that like how like there's New Brevnon people who have like a religion where Naden, the water god, is like their god, and that you have hagfishes that come and drag you down to the court so that you stay there after you die. And then apparently there's like this other religion that's like Kartura, Dalmati, and Marstock that believe in like when you die you go to the hell flames or something like that. So they're like, when you die, so that there's like this expression, come hell flames or hagfishes type deal. Now about Cullen, like he dies in Truthwitch, and he like gets cleaved and he like explodes. You know, like, you know how, like, the cleave, they kind of explode when they die? At least that's what I understood. Like, you get all pussy and black and stuff and kind of gross, and then you explode, and you die. But, like, when you're cleaved, you don't really know what's happening, and you're, like, kind of like a zombie, like, in The Walking Dead. And, that's just how I understood it. So, basically, like, he cleaved, and all his magic came out and formed into some giant storm. And he just exploded. He was like normal witch and he exploded. But then, at the end of Windwitch, he's back. He's alive. He's the man in the darkness. And I'm just like, holy crap. Like, I totally did not expect that. And he's like, oh, I died and I needed to die to get the memories. And he's like, I'm the Fury. And I was like, what? Because like in the whole entire like thing, you see that people are calling Marique the Fury, the Fury, the Fury. He's the Fury and stuff like that because he looks like it because his face is all messed up from the explosion. And he's got like amazing like witch magic, like windwitch magic, like title of the book basically, windwitch. And Cullen, all of a sudden he came back and he's like when you died in that explosion, but when my threads came back to life, like Marique's threads got linked to him. So now the only reason he's alive is because Cullen's alive. So if one of them dies, the other one dies too. You know, like Thread Brothers to the end, woohoo! But like, that's just messed up. Like, I don't understand how he's back, and now he's the Fury, and all of a sudden he's not nice anymore. Like Cullen was he was like such a great character in Truthwitch. Now I just don't like him at all. I just really don't like him. He's an evil person. He tried to kill Vivia, and I mean like the whole time in Windwitch, Marique saying, like, Vivia's not a nice character, like, she's mean, she tried to kill me, and the whole time I'm reading Vivia's point of view, too, and I'm like, why would she try to kill you? She hates you. You can tell. She thinks that everything is easy for him and stuff, but she doesn't really, I don't feel like she has murderous tendencies, you know? So, like, I say like way too much. I'm so sorry about that, but, anyways, so, I just feel like it doesn't really... I'm so confused. The end of Windwitch just left me... I was really, like, too many cliffhangers. Like, too many threads that need to be tied up or not tied up. And, I mean, obviously they're gonna get tied up in the next book. So I'm like, I want that book. But, like, it's just... I need more information. And, I mean, this is all great theories and speculation and stuff, and I'm just like rambling on to you guys. And these books left me questioning like so many things about the world, and I'm just like, what did you do to me? Like I don't understand what's happening in these books anymore, because so many things need to be like brought full circle, and so many things were like they left it at half circle. You know how there's that expression like it came full circle, you know? Everything in here is just a half circle. Kind of like this is halfway through the series. It's basically just a half circle. I need the full circle because I don't understand. So, I'm waiting on these next couple books. So, anytime you want to give them to me, Susan Dennard, just, like, do that. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble about these book series. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, so if you could just leave some comments below, maybe you guys could like make me less confused than I already am, that'd be great. Thanks for coming to my book island, and I would love to see you guys next time. Bye!